And we welcome you to Larry Poe Field here in Coal City, West Virginia, the home of the Independence Lady Softball Patriots. As this evening we have a Raleigh County battle between the Shady Spring Tigers and the Independence Patriots. Hello again, everybody. I'm Maris Lowry. As we enter the ball game here this evening, the Shady Tigers into the ball game with a record of 8-9. They'll take on Independence, who are 16-6. This is their second meeting of the season. The first meeting went to Independence very earlier in the year. In fact, it was only Shady's second game, Independence's seventh game, and it was a 7-4 Independence win, like I said, earlier in the year. So we got a little rain, but we are going to have softball. We had a little cloudy skies through most of this part of Raleigh County this evening, or this afternoon rather, on in here to the evening. We had a little rain upon getting here to the ball field, but the rain has gone away, and it's just overcast and cloudy, and we'll be ready to play here at the bottom of the hour between 8 and 9 Shady and 16-6 Independence. I'll take a break, come back, give you the starting lineups, and get you ready for the first pitch at 5:30 between Independence and Shady softball right here on Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us, New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Thinking about new windows, doors, or siding? Then Window World of Beckley is here to help. We're making it easy with no interest for 18 months. Increase your curb appeal with energy-efficient products that have earned the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval. Let's get started. Call for an in-home consultation. Window World of Beckley, America's #1 exterior remodeler.
And we welcome you back to Independence High School here in Coal City, West Virginia. I'm Maris Lowry. The heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, is producing and directing. Jackie Moon on camera, working solo here this evening. The Battle of Raleigh County. Shady with a record of 8-9, taking on Independence. They are 16-6. Taking a look at the starting lineup first for Shady. The top of the order will be Reagan Lane will lead off things for the Lady Tigers. And it'll be Lane, followed by Alexis Quessenberry and Peyton Rabin. The middle hitters, the number 4 hitter, the cleanup hitter, is Jenna Joyce. And she'll bat, like I said, cleanup. Bella Sturgill will be the 5th hitter, and Brooklyn Blankenship, the 6th hitter. The bottom 3, the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Shady, will be Breeley Kales, Kendra Pizzino, and Bristol Hamilton. So that's how Shady will go. For Independence, they'll go with Cassidy Bradbury, Ava Parks, and Emma Lilly, the top of the order. The middle of the order will be Bella Lilly, Peyton Brim, and Savannah Stanley. The bottom 3 for Independence will be Emma Simpson, Carly Eagle, and Riley Stewart. Defensively for Independence, when they take the field, their battery will be the pitcher, Kenzie Pierce. Saw her pitch the other night. So she'll be the starting pitcher, as we were here on Tuesday when Independence beat Beckley 8-0 in 5 innings. Pierce and Parks are the battery. That's Pierce, the pitcher, and Parks is the catcher. Looking at the outfield going left to right will be Cook in left, Lilly in center, and Stewart in right. From third around the horn to first. At third base will be Simpson, Bella Lilly at shortstop. It'll be Bradbury at second, and Brim will be the first baseman. Once again, the battery will be Pierce and Parks. Defensively for Shady, their pitcher will be Reagan Lane, and she's got 68 strikeouts in 50 innings pitched. So it'll be Lane and Rabin will be the battery, Peyton Rabin the catcher. And then as we take a look from left field all around the horn, it'll be Quessenberry, Pizzino, and Ritchie from left center to right. Third over to first, it'll be Blankenship, Joyce, Hamilton, and Sturgill. And this evening's game is brought to you in part by Indoor Air. Indoor Air is your train dealer. Nothing stops the train, and you can call up the good folks at Indoor Air, Jeff Varney and the staff at 304-890-2212. Also, the game this evening is brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Company. Infinity Coal Company offers no premium, low deductible health insurance with dental and vision coverage. They also offer a company-paid life insurance, prescription drug coverage, and a company matching 401k plan. You can apply for a job with Infinity Coal Company. You can check them out on Facebook at United Coal Company. All right, we'll take a break, come back. We're just a couple of minutes away from the opening pitch, which is 8-9 Shady against 16-6 Independence, and we'll have it coming up next here on Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us. New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us. New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Thinking about new windows, doors, or siding? Then Window World of Beckley is here to help. We're making it easy with no interest for 18 months. Increase your curb appeal with energy-efficient products that have earned the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. Let's get started. Call for an in-home consultation. Window World of Beckley, America's #1 exterior remodeler.
And we welcome you back to Coal City, West Virginia, here at Independence High School. Maris Lowry getting you ready for this Raleigh County battle between Shady 8-9 and Independence 16-6. It's been an overcast day. Had a little rain actually prior to the game when the girls were warming up. Of course, the lights are on here at the field. Shady going through their final warm-ups. And then we'll have the ball game. Of course, Shady, the visiting team, they'll be wearing the navy blue with the big double S in gold on the front of their uniform. Independence will be wearing white jerseys with blue pants. We're moments away from getting the ball game started as Shady going through their final warm-ups here before Independence, I'm sure, will take the field. So this is the second time these two teams have met. Independence won the first time they played by the score of 7-4. That was earlier in the year. And both teams, as we're coming down the home stretch of the regular season, thinking about postseason, which will be coming up in right around the first week of May. So we are going to have softball. Like I said, unless we have a monsoon or unless we got lightning, we're going to play. That's one thing. These are all tough girls that get out here and play, and a little rain's not going to slow them down, and we're ready to go. I got the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, beside me, producing and directing, Jackie Moon on camera, and we should be moments away from getting the ball game started. We'll take one more break, and hopefully when we come back, we'll be ready for softball as you're watching live streaming coverage of girls high school softball here on Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us, New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Thinking about new windows, doors, or siding? Then Window World of Beckley is here to help. We're making it easy with no interest for 18 months. Increase your curb appeal with energy-efficient products that have earned the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. Let's get started. Call for an in-home consultation. Window World of Beckley, America's #1 exterior remodeler.
And we welcome you back to Coal City, West Virginia, here at Larry T. Poe Field, here at the campus of Independence High School. Maris Lowry getting you ready for the softball game between Shady 8-9 and Independence 16-6. And the brain trust of each team is meeting with the umpires at home plate. That would be Ken Atkins for Independence and the young lady Nikki Mays for Shady. So we're waiting for Independence to take the field after the two managers get the final instructions from the three umpires, and looks like the rain is going to pass. I do see a few umbrellas that are popping up, but not raining. If it is raining, just a little bit, not nowhere near as hard as it was about an hour or so ago. But so we are going to play, and the lights are on. And this is the second match between the two teams, second game, which Independence won earlier in the year, 7-4. Well, there's the handshakes between the skippers and the three umpires, and we'll have the playing of the national anthem, and then Independence will be taking the field, and we'll be ready to go to get this game underway here.
High School, home of the Lady Patriots.
So the Patriots are ready to take the field. As I mentioned, defensively for Independence will be Cook in left, Lilly in center, Stewart in right. From third to first around the horn will be Simpson at third, Lilly at shortstop. That'll be Bradbury at second and Bream at first. The battery will be Pierce and Parks. By the way, Independence does have two Lillys. They have an Emma Lilly in center field and a Bella Lilly at shortstop, and then there's an Emma Simpson at third. So you've got three girls there, two with the same first name and two with the same last name. So Shady being introduced once again. It'll be Lane, Questenberry, and Rabin, the top three hitters. Joyce, Sturgill, and Blankenship, the middle three, and then the bottom three hitters will be Kales, Pizzino, and Hamilton. For Independence, their starting lineup will be, the top three hitters will be Bradbury, Parks, and Lilly. That's Emma Lilly. The middle three is Bella Lilly, Bream, and Stanley. And then the bottom three, Simpson, Eagle, and Stewart. So Independence now taking their place in the field. And like I said, we will have the playing of the national anthem shortly. We'll go to break as soon as we have the anthem. While we got a minute, tell you that the game here this evening is brought to you in part by Indoor Air. Indoor Air is your train dealer. Nothing stops a train. Indoor Air, Jeff Varney and the staff will take excellent care of you. You can dial them up at 304-890-2212. And also the game this evening brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Company. They offer no premium, low deductible health insurance with dental and vision coverage. They also offer company-paid life insurance, prescription drug coverage, and a company matching 401k plan. You can apply for a job at Infinity Coal by going on the Facebook page at United Coal Company. Take one final break, the playing of the anthem, and I promise on the other side of the break we'll have softball coming up next here on Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us, New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Thinking about new windows, doors, or siding? Then Window World of Beckley is here to help. We're making it easy with no interest for 18 months. Increase your curb appeal with energy-efficient products that have earned the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. Let's get started. Call for an in-home consultation. Window World of Beckley, America's #1 exterior remodeler.
And there you had the playing of the national anthem, and we are now ready for softball. Independence has taken the field, and their starting pitcher, Kinsey Pierce, will warm up. It'll be Pierce and Parks, the battery. As I mentioned, the first three batters for Shady here in the top half of the first inning will be Lane, Quessenberry, and Rabin. And as Lane comes to the plate, she's already signed to go to Concord. Reagan Lane, she's batting .340, and she's also the starting pitcher for Shady here this evening. And in 50 innings, she's recorded 68 strikeouts. The young lady on the mound for Independence right now, Kinsey Pierce, was the winning pitcher in their 8-0 5-inning game when we were here a couple of nights ago when they beat Beckley. So going through their final warm-ups, and we're just about ready to get the game underway. Once again, it'll be Lane, Quessenberry, and Rabin, the top three hitters for Shady here in the top of the first inning. A little overcast and actually starting to pick up, starting to rain a little bit. More of a mist than I think it is a steady rain, but we can still get the game in. Of course, the lights are on. It is 200 all the way across from foul pole to foul pole, down the left field, right field line into dead center. So wherever you hit the ball, if you're going to take it over the wall for a home run, you've got to hit it at least 200 or 200 plus feet to get it out of the park. Independence 16-6, Shady 8-9. This is the second game between these two teams. Independence won the earlier matchup 7-4. That was early in the season. In fact, that was only Shady's third game. Shady had only played 2 games prior to playing that. Shady's been banged up a little bit too. They are going to be playing this game without 4 of their regulars, and we are ready to go and getting started. Just a tad late. That's okay. It's all right. Game says 5:30. It's kind of like the pros. 5:30 actually means 5:40. I don't know what they just say 5:40. As the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, agrees with me on that, as Nick is producing and directing. Jackie Moon on camera, ready to go. As it'll be Lane that will step in, and now immediately the umpire's like, wait a minute, we can't keep playing with all this rocking music going on. So wherever they control the music, they need to come and cut that off. So it's definitely not us. The umpire's looking at us. We're actually inside, and the reason we're inside, they thought I was going to melt. And the heavy hitter, Nick Eskins, started laughing at when he said, when I told him I thought it was going to melt. That's why we're inside. All right, now we're ready. We finally got the music taken care of, and it'll be Lane in the first pitch of the ball game, and we are underway, and that's over for a called strike 0-1. Glad you're with us here on Video Productions. A little gloomy day. Like I said, it's kind of misted, not raining real hard. Pierce gets set and the pitch, and that's swung on and missed. The count goes to 0-2. It'll be Lane, Quessenberry, and Rabin, as I mentioned, the first 3 hitters here in the top half of the first inning for Shady. And here comes the 0-2 delivery. And it'll go to 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pierce looks in. Her battery mate is Parks. And here comes the 1-2 to Lane. And that'll miss, and the count will even to 2-2. We'll have 2 more softball games next week, Monday and Tuesday here at Coal City. Independence taking on Liberty on Monday and Logan on Tuesday. The 2-2 offering swung on. This ball's hit, and will it be playable? It will not. It'll get back out over the Shady dugout down the first base side for a foul ball, and the count will hold at 2-2. As we look out there to the outfield, I guess we don't want to have anybody running the clock, because maybe or the scoreboard, maybe I'm sitting where they're supposed to be because it still has no balls and no strikes. So if I have to do it, we're in trouble. And the 2-2 pitch is swung on, and this ball was hit in the air, and it's in the infield, very playable for the pitcher, and Pierce gets up under it and squeezes it for the first out of the ball game. So 1 up, 1 down. And that will bring up Quesenberry. Alexa Quesenberry will be the hitter. Quesenberry hits .245. All right, I'm told I got to run it, so I got to keep up with this. And I'm going to have some help, Nick, because I can't even see that. All right, so we're going to get this figured out. And the pitch. That's swung on, and that ball is going to fall for a hit and get past the center field and roll all the way to the wall. And this is going to be a stand-up double. Actually, I say a stand-up double. The young lady slid and probably didn't need to slide, but nevertheless, it's a one-out double for Quesenberry. So a one-out double puts Quesenberry in scoring position, and Rabin will be the hitter. Rabin batting .327. with 2 home runs and 8 runs driven in. Rabin, the Shady catcher. And she'll dig in from the right side of the plate. Yeah, I probably can put the score, but I don't even see on here balls and strikes. So if they're looking for me to run it, they might be in trouble. And the pitch is swung on, and that's through for a base hit as Rabin hits the very first pitch to her, and she'll drive in the game's first run. She makes the big turn, and she'll stand in at second with the double, and Shady takes a 1-0 lead. That's a nice piece of hitting by Rabin as she goes the opposite way for a run driven in. So Shady takes the 1-0 lead on back-to-back doubles. Quesenberry a double, and then Rabin doubles her in. And now it'll be Jenna Joyce will now be the hitter. Joyce, a .354 hitter with 6 home runs and 16 runs driven in. And she will take a called strike, 0-1. So 0-1 to count. And this ball is fouled back. Count goes to 0-2. So I'm doing double duty. I'm doing actually triple duty. I'm doing play-by-play, I'm doing color, and I'm running the scoreboard as well. I wonder if I'll get triple pay for this one. And the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, over here laughing like he's over here like his side's hurting because he's laughing so hard. All right, the 0-2 delivery. That's swung on. That's hit foul down the left field line. But, boy, tell you, just a little too far out in front was Joyce that time. She had a lot of pop in her bat. And there is one out. That is correct. So I got to do all kinds of stuff over here. And we got it going on. And Shady has a run in. So we'll get to that in a minute. If I think I got this right. We'll figure this out here in a minute. As this pitch is swung on, and that's hit foul once again down the left field line. Yeah, in between innings, I'll have to get somebody to show me how I can put the run up. But the score's 1-0. And the pitch, that's way above the catcher's head Parks, and that will able to get Rabin from second down to third. So 1 out and 1 in and 1 on here in the first inning. And Shady in front 1-0. And the count's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch swung on, and that's fouled back out of play. So it counts 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3 for the second out of the inning. So Joyce is a strikeout victim for Shady's second out. And with 2 out and a run in and 2 hits already in the inning, that'll bring up the number 5 hitter. Bella Sturgill will be the hitter. Sturgill batting .245, the first baseman. Takes a big cut and misses 0-1. So 0-1 the count. And 1-1 now. And the delivery. Swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-2. So 1-2 the count to Sturgill. Shady's plated a run with a couple of back-to-back doubles, one by Quessenberry, and then Rabin drove her in. This ball is fouled back. Back out of play. My basketball analyst, football analyst, Eric Thomas, is not able to be with us, but he's watching the game here, and he's like, it's like old times. If he can't be with us in person, he's with us by watching. We appreciate Eric and people like him that has taken the game in. All right, here's the pitch, and that'll miss a little bit, and that will get the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we got 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, a run in for Shady, runner at third. And Pierce is set. Gets the sign and the 2-2 pitch, and the count will go full, 3-2. And get ready for the payoff pitch. Pierce set, ready, and the payoff pitch to Sturgill, and that's a walk. And Shady's got 2 on with 2 out and a run in. And Blankenship will now be the hitter. Blankenship hits .234. Brooklyn Blankenship, the third baseman, will come to the plate. And now I'm not sure if they've called an out. Apparently maybe one of the runners left too soon, and I saw this the other night. So apparently that's the third out, and that's how the inning will end. But Shady does get a couple hits. They score a run, middle of the first. Shady leads 1-0. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General Store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General Store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
As we welcome you back to Coal City, West Virginia, Shady with a 1-0 lead as we go to the home half of the first. Shady was able to get a run on a couple of hits, back-to-back doubles by Quessenberry and by Rabin as Rabin gets the RBI. So the first 3 hitters for Independence will be Bradbury, Parks, and Emma Lilly will be the first 3 hitters. And we have to find out, I'm not sure on that last out if that was a called strike. Maybe if we can get Nick to ask one of the umpires real quick if that was a called strike or someone left early. We saw this in the game Monday, and a game that Rusty, Udy, and I did, and they called someone out because they left early. So we didn't get the call. That's the thing I know, they were running off the field, and that was the final out of the inning. So it'll be Bradbury to lead things off for Independence. And she makes a lot of noise as she's hitting over 450 with a home run and 20 runs driven in. And she'll hit from the left-hand side of the plate. It'll be Bradbury, Parks, and Lilly. So 1-0 is the lead for Shady. It has 0 up on the board, but it's actually 1-0. We are correct. And it'll be the first pitch for a called strike. So Reagan Lane on the mound, like I said, she's worked 50 innings, got 68 strikeouts, and she's ahead of the count here now at 0-2. So that must have been what happened, that the young lady for Shady left too soon, and that's why she was called out, as this ball was fouled at the plate, and the count will hold at 0-2. You know, saw that the other night when we were doing the Beckley Independence game, and it's something where we're located, we're not able to reach the umpire because we're inside tonight. We're outside the other night, and next thing you know, they all just leave the field in. So I'm sure that's what it was, that they left too soon. Nevertheless, here's the pitch to Bradbury, and the count is 1-2. Glad you're with us here on video production. A little overcast. It's just misting a little bit. Maybe I think it's quit raining, but we've had pretty much rain throughout for about the hour and a half since we've been here. Lane is ready, and here comes the 1-2 delivery. And good eye that time by Bradbury to lay off of it. The ball's a little high, and she was able to hold back to even the count at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bradbury to be followed by Parks and Lilly. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed strike 3. So Bradbury is a strikeout victim. 1 out, nobody aboard. And Ava Parks will now be the hitter. So as Parks steps to the ditch, she's batting .533 with 29 runs driven in. And the first pitch to her is ball 1. So with that strikeout for Lane, that's her 51st strikeout of the season. And this ball is slapped into right field, a base hit. And that's going to get past the right fielder, roll to the wall. The big turn is made, and that'll be an easy double, a stand-up double. So Parks able to get a hit. And that's Independence's first hit of the game, a 1-out double. And Emma Lilly will now be the batter. Will step to the dish for Independence. Emma Lilly batting an even .500 with 2 home runs and 28 runs driven in. So 1-out double by Parks. And Lilly awaits the pitch. And that'll be ball 1. Lane and Rabin are the battery for Shady. And here comes the pitch. 2-0 the count. So 2 balls, no strikes. There is 1 out. And here comes the 2-0 delivery. This ball is swung on. It's hit to right field. The right fielder has a beat on it, gets up under it, and that is Ritchie. Maggie Ritchie, and makes a nice catch. And Parks is able to tag and go to third. So now with 2 outs, Independence has a runner at third, as Emma Lilly is the 2nd out of the inning. And that will bring up Bella Lilly now to the plate. So Bella Lilly now will hit with 2 outs and a runner at third. Take ball 1. So Bella Lilly batting .339 with 21 runs driven in, and chance to drive in run 22 out there at third base. And the 1-0 delivery. Swung on. This is a chopper. Shortstop able to make the plays. Joyce for the throw across the diamond end to end the inning. So Independence gets a hit. They leave one, and after one, it's Shady 1, Independence nothing. We'll be right back here on Video Productions. This evening's game is brought to you in part by Indoor Air, your Train dealer. Nothing stops a train. You can dial them up at 304-890-2212. Jeff Martin and the staff will take excellent care of you. Also, the game here this evening is brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Company. Infinity Coal Company offers a no-premium, low-deductible health insurance with dental and vision coverage. They also offer a company-paid life insurance, prescription drug coverage, and a company-matching 401k plan. You can check them out on the Facebook page at United Coal Company. All right, going to the top of the second, Shady leads in the ball game 1-0. Shady a run on a couple of hits. And let's see where we will start off, because the way that first inning, the batter was Blankenship, and let's see if Blankenship is the one. So Blankenship will lead off in the second inning. She was at bat when the third out was recorded because of a runner to the left too soon. So Blankenship will lead things off. It'll be the 6th, 7th, and 8th hitter, Blankenship, Kales, and Pizzino here in the top half of the second inning for Shady. Pierce, the pitcher, on the mound for Shady, and she looks into the catcher, Parks. And the first pitch of the second inning's ball hit sharply to the third baseman. It's knocked down, and the play across the diamond is not in time as that ball was hit sharp to Simpson. And Simpson not able to handle it. And see if we can get the replay on that. And let's see how that will be scored. The ball hit to Simpson. She knocked it down, makes the throw. That's going to be a tough call. We're going to call that a hit. We'll call that a hit. So that'll be the third hit of the ball game as Blankenship leads off with an infield hit. And Kales will now be the hitter. And the count's 0-1 to Kales. Kales comes in. She's actually the designated hitter, and she's hitting .277. This ball swung on and fouled down the third baseline. So it's 0-2 is the count. Shady got a couple of hits and a run in the first inning as Raven doubled in Questenberry, who also doubled in that inning. And now with that infield hit by Blankenship, that's 3 hits in the ball game for Shady. And here comes the 0-2 pitch to Kales. And that swung on. That's hit to the third baseman, Simpson. She'll go to second. Will they get the out? They will. They'll get the force play. And that was a nice play by Emma Simpson at third base. So that'll be a fielder's choice for Kales. And she'll be on at first with 1 out. And Pizzino will now be the hitter, Kendra Pizzino. And she's coming up really off an injury. She hasn't had that many at-bats, but she is hitting .333 as she hits in the 8th hole for Shady. And this pitch is swung on and popped up, and that'll be back out of play. So it looks like we're going to be okay. Looks like the rain has stopped altogether, and just an overcast day. And wouldn't you know it, when the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, and myself got here to the park, that's when it started to rain. And then we started to melt, and then we had to come inside. So the count is 0-1 to Pizzino. She's the number 8 hitter in the lineup. And the pitch. The count goes to 0-2. Independence is 16-6. Shady's 8-9. The 0-2 offering. And that's called strike 3. So Pizzino's out on strikes for the second out of the inning. And with 2 out and a runner on, we'll have the number 9 hitter, Bristol Hamilton, will now be the batter. And the pitch to Hamilton. Swung on. She's way out in front. She pulls that ball foul down the left field line and out of play. Shady with a 1-0 lead on an RBI double by Peyton Rabin, the freshman catcher for Shady. Count evens at a ball and a strike. And the 1-1 pitch. And that'll go to 2-1. And with that ball getting past the catcher, that will allow the base runner to get down in scoring position as Kales will make her way from first down to second. So it's 2 balls, 1 strike. And this pitch is swung on, and this is in foul ground. The first baseman over there that has a play right in front of the Shady dugout and squeezes it for the out. Nice play by Bream to end the inning. And in the middle of the second inning, Shady's in front 1-0. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
At Access Health, we treat your children the way we want our children to be treated, with care, compassion, and expertise.
We focus on treating the person, not just the symptom. Your health and well-being are our priority.
And when you face uncertainties, we are there with advanced technology and compassionate care.
And we welcome you back to Coal City, West Virginia, here at Independence High School. Maris Lowry with you as we go to the home half of inning number 2. 1-0 the lead for Shady. And due up for Independence will be the 5, 6, and 7 hitter. It'll be Bream. And, you know, how many times do you see that? The person who was able to record the final out, Bream, squeezed that foul pop in front of the Shady dugout. She'll lead things off. The Patriot first baseman will be Bream, Stanley, and Simpson. The number, as I mentioned, number 5, 6, and 7 hitters up. Has Reagan Lane on the mound. She's recorded 1 strikeout. And on the year, that puts her at 51 total strikeouts. Actually, she's got 2 strikeouts. No, 1 strikeout, I beg your pardon. So here's the first pitch to Bream. As Bream, did she go around? And I believe she did. And she did, and the count is 0-1. She tried to hold up, and they appealed down to the third base umpire, and he said, yep, she sure did. So 0-1 the count to Peyton Bream, the first baseman for Independence. Count will even out, 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll have Independence and Liberty on Monday night. And that game will start at 5:30, and then we'll be back again on Tuesday when they play Logan, 6 o'clock. And I'm guessing that game's a half an hour later because Logan, the distance obviously a little further than some of the county teams as the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the second. Shady pushed its run across in the first inning on an RBI double by Peyton Rabin. I beg your pardon. And here comes the 2-1 pitch. This ball is swung on and missed, and the count evens at 2-2. So Lane looks in to Rabin, get the sign, the 2-2 offering. This ball swung on. It's hit in foul ground down the left field line, giving chase, and not going to be able to haul it in, and we'll do it again. I said it's 200 foul pole to foul pole, down the lines to dead center. So if you're going to get the ball out of the park, got hit a little over 200 feet, and there's pretty good amount of foul territory down each the right field and left field line. And there's a called strike 3. So that will be the second strikeout of the game and the 52nd strikeout of the season by Lane, the Shady pitcher. And that's the first out of the second inning. And that will bring up Samantha Stanley will be now the hitter. So Stanley will step to the dish. She'll dig in on from the right side of the plate. And take a called strike. Stanley hitting .283, got 2 home runs, 16 runs driven in. And the 0-1 pitch to her swung on. This ball's hit out into left center field. Going back is the left fielder, not be able to make the play. It's over her head, and this is going to be at least 2. And there's Stanley will able to stand up with a double, and that will be the second hit of the ball game for Independence, a 1-out double by Stanley. For a minute there, as we watched the replay, I thought that ball might have a chance to clear the fence, as the left fielder, Quesenberry for Shady, kept going back and kept drifting back, and the ball overhead up against the wall. So a 1-out double, and now Emma Simpson will now be the hitter. And now we have a courtesy runner. So Simpson will now come to the dish. I'm trying to see it. The courtesy runner is going to be Zoe Bragg. So Bragg will now be the runner. And Simpson will be the batter. Simpson's batting .306 with 10 runs driven in. We're at the bottom of the second inning. Glad you're with us here on Video Productions. Raleigh County battle between Shady and Independence. So Emma Simpson digs in. Lane is ready, and the pitch. He squares to bunt and misses. There's a throw to third, and she's out. Nice play by the catcher, Rabin, as she's able to throw a strike down to third, and Bragg is caught stealing, and that's the second out of the inning. So Independence may have ran themselves what potentially could have been a fairly decent inning. And there's now, instead of having 1 out and a runner at second, now 2 out, nobody on. And this pitch, they're going to appeal down to the first base dugout. And he said, nope, count evens at a ball and a strike. So Simpson at the dish, and the pitch is swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-2. And that ball had some heat on it. As you can see why Lane is very effective. And now, in 70 2/3 innings, she has 52 strikeouts. Can she record strikeout 53 on the year? This ball's popped up, fouled back out of play. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. And the 1-2 to Simpson. Swung on and fouled again. Simpson's fighting the pitches off, and she hits with some foul down the left field line. So 2 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the second inning, and Shady leading 1-0. Their one run came in the first inning. Alexis Quesenberry doubled, and then was doubled home by Peyton Rabin. Rabin also made a nice defensive play, throwing out the runner at third a minute ago. This ball was popped up out into left field. Quesenberry up and under it, and will make the catch to end the inning. So, at the end of 2, we're still at 1-0 Shady, and we'll be right back here on Video Productions.
General Stores has been serving West Virginia communities for almost 5 decades. That's nearly 50 years of providing those essential needs for your daily journey. We are so grateful to be a small part of your lives, and we want to recognize the integral part of our operation, the LG family. We know these last couple years haven't been easy, but with every sunrise and sunset, you keep us going. To the LG family, the moms, dads, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters of West Virginia, thank you.
So you're ready to get started on that home remodel? Then America's #1 exterior remodeler is here to help. For over 19 years, Window World of Beckley has helped homeowners in our area take care of their greatest investment. We make it easy to remodel your home with special financing options and convenient monthly payments. Because we are locally owned and operated, you can expect the best in customer service. We're excited to see what you have in mind. We look forward to helping you create the home of your dreams.
Welcome you back to Coal City, West Virginia. The game here this evening is brought to you in part by Indoor Air. Indoor Air is your train dealer. Nothing stops the train. You can dial up Jeff Varney and his staff at 304-890-2212. Also, the ball game brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Company. Infinity Coal offers no premium, low deductible health insurance with dental and vision coverage. They also offer company-paid life insurance, prescription drug coverage, and a company-matching 401k plan. All right, going to the top of the third inning, Shady with a 1-0 lead. And we will go back to the top of the order. I beg your pardon. Yes, we will back to the top of the order. As ball one is the pitch there to Lane. Lane popped out 0 for 1 back in the first inning. So it'll be 1, 2, and 3, the batters. Lane, Quessenberry, and Rabin. And the 1-0 delivery is swung on, ball hit to the third baseman Simpson, and she's right there to make the play for the first out of the third inning. So 1 up, 1 down, and that will be Alexa Quessenberry will be the hitter. She doubled her first time up and scored the game's only run. She's 1 for 1 in the ball game. And that pitch will be ball 1. Quessenberry to be followed by Peyton Rabin. So 1-0 the count to Quessenberry. And here comes the pitch. That ball's fouled at the plate. The count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. A ball is striking it out here in the top of the third inning. Shady 8-9. This would be a huge victory, not just to get to 500, but beating your county rival. And Independence 16-6. And Independence won 12 of their first 13 games. Counts 1-1. And here comes the 1-1 to Quessenberry. And the count goes to 2-1. So Pierce gets the sign from Parks and the pitch, and that's a little high. Count goes 3-1. And the 3-1 pitch to Quessenberry. And that'll be ball 4. So Quessenberry is on for the second time. She doubled back in the first and scored, and now she draws a free pass with the base on ball, and it'll bring up Peyton Rabin. Rabin 1 for 1. She has an RBI double back in the first inning. Rabin will dig in from the right-hand side of the plate. And here comes the pitch. And she swings, hits the ball to left field. That's going back, and the park won't hold it. A 2-run home run by Rabin. And Shady's out to a 3-0 lead as Rabin has got all 3 runs driven in. 2 for 2. She went deep. And like I said, the park can't hold it, and Shady's up 3-0 as her entire team is meeting her as she crosses the dish with a 2-run blast. So Peyton Rabin, she jumped all over that pitch. As we watch the replay, and all the left fielder can do for Independence Cook is just look up and watch it fly out of the park. As Rabin gets her home run trot and a 2-run dinger, and it's now 3-0 in favor of Shady. So that's 3 runs on 4 hits. And here in the third, Shady's opened up a 3-0 lead. As Joyce will now be the hitter. She was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. This ball was hit foul down the left field line. The count evens 1 ball, 1 strike. You know, I could watch when the ball was first hit by Raven. I just watched the left fielder, and I saw the way when she looked up, and she knew there was no way she was going to have a chance to catch it. No way the park was going to hold it. And Raven with an RBI double in the first, and now a 2-run home run here in the third. As the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike to Jenna Joyce. Joyce able to swing. This ball's hit to left field. The left fielder up under it, makes a play on it and squeezes it. That's a nice play that time by Cook, and that's the second out of the inning. So with 2 out, he had nobody on, but 2 runs have already scored in this inning for Shady. And it'll be Bella Sturgill will be the hitter. She drew a base on ball back in the first inning. And takes a big cut and misses here, 0-1. So 0-1 the count to Sturgill. And the 0-1 delivery swung on, and that ball's out of play. Count goes to 0-2. That home run by Peyton Rabin, that's her 3rd home run of the season. There she deposited that ball over the left field fence. So Sturgill in the hole at 0-2, and the 0-2 delivery swung on. This ball is popped up, and it will not be playable. Or is it? I beg your pardon. It was caught. That was a little bit out of my way, but Shady's able to strike within the big blast, a 2-run shot by Rabin, and in the middle of the 3rd inning, it's Shady 3, Independence nothing. We'll be right back after this here on Video Productions.
General Stores has been serving West Virginia communities for almost 5 decades. That's nearly 50 years of providing those essential needs for your daily journey. We are so grateful to be a small part of your lives, and we want to recognize the integral part of our operation, the LG family. We know these last couple years haven't been easy, but with every sunrise and sunset, you keep us going. To the LG family, the moms, dads, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters of West Virginia, thank you.
So you're ready to get started on that home remodel? Then America's #1 exterior remodeler is here to help. For over 19 years, Window World of Beckley has helped homeowners in our area take care of their greatest investment. We make it easy to remodel your home with special financing options and convenient monthly payments. Because we are locally owned and operated, you can expect the best in customer service. We're excited to see what you have in mind. We look forward to helping you create the home of your dreams.
And we welcome you back to Coal City, West Virginia. Here's that home run by the young lady there from Shady, Peyton Rabin. That was her 3rd home run of the season, and that gave Shady a 3-0 advantage. Shady with 3 runs on 4 hits. And now we're back to the top of the order. Let's see what Independence can do. It'll be Bradbury, Parks, and Lilly. Bradbury was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. She's 0 for 1, and she'll step in from the right-hand side of the plate. And actually, this is Cook, so they're going with the 10th batter, and that ball will fall in for a hit. So they're allowed to use a 10th batter, and that was Cook who led off here in the 3rd inning. And with all the rules, the way they have changed, and not doing softball as much as I have, you have to beg your pardon with all the rule changing. And actually, that was the 8th hitter. So that is a leadoff hit, and now Stewart will now be the batter. And she'll square to bunt and foul it. So it was 8-9, and now back to the top of the order. So it was Eagle that got the hit, or Cook hitting for Eagle. Cook got the leadoff single, and now Riley Stewart is now the hitter. And she takes a cut at it. There's a throw down to second, and the base is stolen, and Cook is in safely at second base. The count is 0-2 to Stewart. So Stewart, the number 9 hitter in the lineup, and here comes the 0-2 pitch, and that's called strike 3 for the first out of the inning. So that's the third strikeout of the game for Reagan Lane for Shady. That's her 53rd strikeout for the season, and now we'll go back to the top of the order. I beg your pardon there. So now we're back at the top of the order with Cassidy Bradbury. She was a strikeout out victim back in the first. She's 0 for 1. And the pitch to her is swung on, and this ball is slapped foul out of play down the left field line. So Cook's the runner at second. There's one out. 3-0 Shady leads here in the bottom of the third inning. And Bradbury is the hitter for Independence. And the count is even at 1-1 strike. Lane ready, and the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-2. And the 1-2 to Bradbury is swung on. That ball slapped to the third baseman. It's knocked down. I don't think there's going to be a play nowhere. Now they got the runner hung up. Play at third, and now everybody's safe. There'll be runners at the corners. That ball was hit the Blankenship, and she knocked it down. And now going into second, and what do we got to call? We have safe. Yep. So heads-up play by Cassidy Bradbury, able to get into second safely. So now we've got the manager for Shady out on the field to question something, so let's see what we got here. We'll have a discussion among the umpires to see what the call is going to be here. See if we can get the replay on this. And there's the ball. Was knocked down. That's going to be a hit all the way. And then there was no play. They had the runner there caught between second and third. The throw looked like it slipped out of the hands. And then they called maybe time, and then maybe the runner took off. So let's see what we got. Apparently everything's fine as is, and Independence will have runners at third and second. So there'll be one out, and that's 2 hits in this inning for Independence and 2 runners aboard, as Parks will be the hitter. She doubled back in the first inning. She's 1 for 1. So Parks will step to the dish with 2 on and 1 out. Parks entered the game batting .533 with 29 runs driven in and takes a called strike. So Independence, here's a great opportunity for Independence to get back in the game as they trail 3-0, but they have 2 on and 1 out. Ball gets past the catcher, but not far enough for the runners to advance, as Raven able to get on it, and the count evens at 1-1. So Independence has got 4 hits, but they haven't been able to push a run across the plate. This has been one of their best opportunities to do that, as 2-1 is the count to Ava Parks. Parks will be followed by Emma Lilly. Lane ready, and the 2-1 to Parks. Swung on, and that's chopped foul right there at the plate. Count evens at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ava Parks. And here comes the 2-2 offering. That's swung on. That's slapped the other way. That's going to be fair. It'll get down for a hit into right field. That'll drive 1 run in. That will drive 2 runs in. And Independence is back in the game. A big 2-run single by Parks. That's her 2nd hit of the ball game. And the 3rd hit this inning. And the Patriots have played it a couple. And they cut the Shady lead to 3-2. So that was a good piece of hitting by Parks. She's had a double, and now 2 runs driven in on the single, and now that'll bring up Emma Lilly, who flied out to right field. Her first at bat, she's 0 for 1. And this pitch is swung on and popped up, and this is not going to be in play. It'll be behind the Shady dugout, out of play for a foul ball, strike 1. So 0-1 the count to Emma Lilly. And 2 runs in, 1 out, 1 on. Lilly entered the game batting even .500 with 2 home runs rather than 28 runs driven in. This ball will bounce to the plate, and the throw down to second and out. Nice throw that time by Peyton Rabin, and that will erase Parks for the 2nd out of the inning. As we watch the replay, that ball bounced to the plate, but a good throw right on the money. And so that'll be 2 outs and nobody on. Independence has scored a couple runs this inning to get within 1 run as they trail 3-2. And the count's 1 ball and 1 strike to Emma Lilly. Looking ahead to the 4th inning for Shady, they'll have 6, 7, and 8 hitters up. Blankenship, Kales, and Pizzino. 2-1 pitch, swung on. This ball was hitting the outfield, out to center field. The center fielder out there, Pizzino, over to make the catch to end the inning. But Independence is able to get a couple of runs on 3 hits. And after 3, your score is Shady 3, Independence 2. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
At Access Health, we treat your children the way we want our children to be treated, with care, compassion, and expertise.
We focus on treating the person, not just the symptom. Your health and well-being are our priority.
And when you face uncertainties, we are there with advanced technology and compassionate care.
Well, the 3rd inning line score unofficially is Shady, 3 runs on 4 hits and no errors. Independence, 2 runs on 5 hits and also no errors. So we're going to the top of the 4th inning. 3-2 the lead for Shady. And it'll be hitter 6, 7, and 8. Blankenship, Kales, and Pizzino due up for Shady here on the top of the 4th inning. Now, it looks like there may be some kind of, maybe it's a change. Let's see Kelly Mays, the coach of Shady, meeting with the umpire. Let's see if they're going to change up their batting order or what they're going to do here. The umpire's got his score card out. Of course, they never inform us. We just got to figure it out on the fly. So we'll see if indeed, of course, it is 6, 7, and 8 in the order, but if indeed it'll be Blankenship, Kales, and Pizzino. Let's see if there's some type of change being made as we start the top of the 4th inning. What's been a very entertaining, competitive game with Shady leading 3-2. Shady with a run in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, and Independence played at 2 in the bottom of the 3rd inning to get within 1. So 3-2, the lead for Shady as the Shady Tigers bat here in the 4th inning. And this pitch is swung on. That ball is hit to the shortstop. Shortstop able, Lilly, to pick it up and make the throw, but not in time. And that is Blankenship, and she'll have a leadoff hit to start the fourth inning. So that's the 5th hit of the ball game for Shady. As we watch the replay, good hard throw, but good speed, just better speed. Is Blankenship able to hustle down the line to beat the throw, and Kales will now be the hitter. Reached on a fielder's choice. Her first time she swings and hits it foul down the third baseline, down out into the left field corner. 0-1 the count. Got a pretty decent crowd. Got a little breeze going. The rain stopped. We've had a lot of rain right around 4 o'clock here, about the first hour and a half before we started. It was raining a little harder right there a little after 4, and then it quit. And we had a little mist, and now it's gone away just a little cloudy. This ball is slapped foul down the third baseline. 0-2 the count. 2 Kales to be followed by Pizzino. As Blankenship led off the inning with that infield hit. We're at the top of the 4th inning, 3-2 the lead for Shady. These two teams met earlier in the year, and Independence won that 7-4. So competitive then, and that was early. I think maybe really competitive now. And, you know, the Shady coaches were telling me they've had a lot of injuries and got a lot of people, a lot of moving parts. Are trying to get it put together here for the stretch run of the regular season on into the postseason. And now we're going to have a visit to the mound by the Independence coach, Ken Atkins. Will visit with his pitcher, which is Kinsey Pierce. And now the umpires break it up. So Blankenship, the runner at first. 0-2 the count to Kales. She's the current hitter for Shady. And Pierce is ready to deliver the 0-2. And that's swung on, and that's also out of play. So the count will hold at 0-2. Pierce ready, and the 0-2 offering swung on and fouled back out of play again. So Kales is really making Pierce work. She's fighting off all these pitches. And Kales is ready for another 0-2 delivery, and that's way high over top of the pitcher's head. And with that pitch, that will allow Blankenship to take second. So count is 1-2, Blankenship down at second. And the 1-2 swung on, fouled back again. So far this has been a very good at-bat for Kales. She's been able up there just to be able to get a piece of everything that's come across the plate. And the 1-2. Swung on, fouled back again. So no matter what happens at this at-bat, Kales is saying she's not going to be an easy out. She's definitely making the Independence, the pitcher, Pierce, really work if she's going to get her out. And we'll try the 1-2 again, and that's swung on, and guess what? It's fouled back again. I would say that's at least 6 pitches she's fouled back at this at-bat. Trying to find a pitch she can really move the runner, or better yet, knock the runner in. She fouls another one back. But that's one thing she does a good job, does Kales, protect the plate. If it's close, she's got to be swinging. And trying to find a pitch that maybe she can drive and knock in the run there. That's Blankenship out at second. But the big offensive numbers for Shady has come from Peyton Rabin. Had an RBI double in the first and a 2-run shot in the third. She's fouled off so many balls that finally had to go get into another pack of softballs to be able to get it to Pierce, the pitcher. And this ball swung on, and it's hit down the left field line. Left fielder giving chase. It's in foul ground, and it won't be caught. And Another foul ball. So this has been quite a battle. Pierce to Kales. Kales has been fighting off everything that Pierce has been throwing. And we'll do it again at 1-2. And that's swung on and missed strike 3. That, even though Pierce wins the battle, Kales really made her work for that as she does go down swinging for the first out of the Shady 4th inning. So now Pizzino will be the hitter. She was a strikeout victim in the second. Pierce for Independence has recorded 3 strikeouts here in the ball game. Pizzino squares the bunt, lays it down, and it's foul. And the count's 0-1. Pizzino, the number 8 hitter in the lineup, to be followed by Hamilton. And Blankenship, the runner, down at second. And the pitch. Count will even at 1 ball, 1 strike. One thing could be difficult as I look out to the outfield. There are lights. There's cars parked out there with their lights on. That could be difficult for the batter. Pizzino squares to bunt and bunts it foul. And now the count's 1-2. I'm surprised the home plate umpire hasn't told the people out there in left field to turn their headlights out. That could most definitely be a major distraction to the batter. So 1-2 the count to Pizzino. And here it comes. And the count will even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, a 2-2 pitch. And we've gone full at 3-2. So ready for the payoff pitch. Pizzino, the center fielder for Shady. And the payoff pitch on its way. Swung on. This ball's hit the left field. The left fielder comes over and drops it. That'll be an error. That should have been caught. And they'll hold the runner at third. But Pizzino will take the wide turn and able to get the second as the left fielder that time, Cook, who'd been pretty steady, not able to haul that in. And that'll be an error. And that'll put runners at third and second with only 1 out. So Blankenship will be held at third, but Pizzino able to make the wide turn and get on down to second. And now it'll be Bristol Hamilton will now be the batter. She's 0 for 1, popped out to the first baseman back in the second inning. This pitch is swung on and fouled back, the count 0-1. So a big opportunity for Shady to try to extend their lead. They led earlier 3-0 before Independence scored 2 in the bottom of the third. And now Shady with a couple of runners out there in scoring position. Blankenship at third and Pizzino at second. And the count goes 0-2 to Bristol Hamilton. This is the number 9 hitter in the batting order. And then we can go back to the top of the order as Lane waits on deck. So 0-2 to Hamilton. And the pitch. Swung on. This ball gets through into right field. That's a base hit. It gets past the right fielder. 1 run's in. They'll get a second run in, and that will be a hit and another error. So a team that's normally really good defensively, Independence has now made a couple of errors in this inning, and Shady will extend the lead to 5-2. So that will be a hit and an error. As Hamilton delivers, she'll get 1 RBI on that. But I'm sure she doesn't care about that because she's on and then able to make it to second on the air, and 2 runs have scored. And Shady has extended the lead now to 5-2 here in the 4th inning with just 1 out. And we'll go back to the top of the order. And Reagan Lane, the pitcher, will have an opportunity to help her own cause as she comes in hitting at .340. But so far she's 0 for 2 with a pop out to the pitcher in the first and a pop out to the third baseman in the third. But she can really help her own cause here. And only one out with Hamilton, the runner, down at second. So 2 big errors in this inning have opened the floodgates. And like I said, Independence is normally a very good defensive team. But in this inning, they've had a couple of issues. And that's helped Shady take this 5-2 lead. Pitch is ball 1. Of course, you look at this, the 2 and 3 hitters have done damage. Quessenberry's a double and walked and scored twice. Rabin a double and a 2-run home run. And they're to follow Lane here as the count goes to 2-0. So this is a big inning for Independence and Pierce. Pierce not getting the backing behind her that she normally gets. And here comes the 2-0 to Lane. And that'll be over for a called strike. Count goes 2-1. So Shady, 5 runs so far on 6 hits. Independence has committed 2 errors this inning. And the 2-1 offering. And that evens the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 to Lane. Swung on and chopped foul. Count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shady got a run in the first. They had a 2-run home run by Peyton Rabin in the third, and they pushed a couple runs across here. This ball's hit into right field. Right fielder makes a play on the ball, and it's caught by Ritchie. And the young lady from Shady at second tags and goes to third, and she's in there. So Hamilton makes it to third. As Lane is out, and it'll be Quessenberry will now be the hitter. Like I say, Quessenberry, a double and scored in the first, and drew a walk and then scored on the home run by Rabin in the third. So she's 1 for 1 and a walk. And she'll take ball 1. And if you're Pierce, this is such a big out because you definitely don't want to face Rabin with runners on base. Count goes to 2-0. Looks like it might start maybe misting just a bit maybe. So 2-0 the count to Quessenberry. And there's a called strike. 2-1 the count. And the 2-1. And goes to 3-1. If Quessenberry can keep it alive, Rabin would be next. And here comes the 3-1 delivery. Swung on right back up the middle. Second baseman able to field it and record the out. But Shady able to score a couple of runs as they were able to get a couple of hits and a couple of big Independence errors. And in the middle of the 4th inning, it is Shady 5 and Independence 2. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
At Access Health, we treat your children the way we want our children to be treated, with care, compassion, and expertise.
We focus on treating the person, not just the symptom. Your health and well-being are our priority.
And when you face uncertainties, we're there with advanced technology and compassionate care.
As we welcome you back to Larry Poe Field here on the campus of Independence High School. Actually, I guess right across the street from the high school, technically still on the campus. I'm Maris Lowry here with the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, producing and directing. Jackie Moon on camera as we go to the home half of the fourth inning. And right now, Shady's in front 5-2. Shady got a run in the first. Then they got 2 in the third to go up 3-0. Independence got 2 of those runs back in the bottom of the third to make it 3-2. And Shady pushed 2 runs across in the top half of this inning in the fourth to take a 5-2 lead. So as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning, it'll be the middle of the lineup, 4, 5, and 6. It'll be Bella Lily, Bram, and Stanley due up. Bella Lily is 0 for 1, grounded out to the shortstop Joyce back in inning number 2. So it'll be Bella Lily that'll lead things off for Independence. And the first pitch to her will be ball 1. Bella Lily, just a freshman, entered the game hitting .339 with 21 runs driven in. And the count goes to 2-0. Of course, Independence, you're behind. You need base runners. And if you're Shady, you're going to say if they're going to have base runners, they have to earn their way on. They have to hit it. You don't want to walk them. As the count is 2-1, and that's a called strike. Once again, we'll be back here Monday for a 5:30 game between Independence and Liberty, and then Tuesday a 6 o'clock game against Logan. Count evens up now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Like I said, it's Lily, Bream, and Stanley. And the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So that's the first out in the Independence fourth inning. And that's also the 4th strikeout for Lane for Shady. She now has 54 strikeouts on the season. And with 1 out and nobody on, it'll be Peyton Bream, the hitter. And Bream was a strikeout victim her only other time at the plate back in the second inning. So Bream will dig in from the left-hand side of the plate. And the pitch. Ball 1. So we're about 2 weeks out for the postseason, and, you want to be playing your best as that ball's fouled back 1-1. You want to be playing your best, have a little momentum going into the postseason. It's about that second week of May when you get into the postseason. And here comes the 1-1 offering. And that's over for a called strike. The count's 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Peyton Bream, the Independence first baseman. Lane is ready, and the pitch. And the count will even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. And that'll be called strike 3. So that's back-to-back strikeouts to start this fourth inning. As Bella Lily down on strikes, and now Peyton Bream down on strikes. And with 2 out, nobody aboard, Savannah Stanley will be the hitter. She got a double back in the second inning. So she's 1 for 1. And she'll bat with 2 out, nobody aboard. Now I think maybe they said something out there to have the lights turned out on one of the vehicles that was out in left field. So Stanley will be the hitter with 2 out, nobody aboard. Takes a called strike. And right now, especially in this inning, Reagan Lane has really got herself into a groove, getting ahead of the hitters. And the 0-1. This ball is fouled out of play, and now 0-2 the count. To Savannah Stanley. This ball's hit down the right field line, and it is foul. So the count will hold at 0-2. That's one thing in this game. We've had a lot of balls hit in foul territory. They've had to retrieve a lot of these balls. Lane's ready to deliver the 0-2. And that's swung on and missed strike three. She strikes out the side. And we have gone 4 full innings of play. At the end of 4, it's Shady 5, Independence 2. We'll be right back here on Video Productions. This evening's game is brought to you by Indoor Air, your Train dealer. Nothing stops a train. You can call up Jeff Varney and his crew at 304-890-2212 at Indoor Air. Also, the ball game this evening is brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Company. Infinity Coal Company, if you want to stay close to home, you can come and join the team at Infinity Coal Company located in Sophia, West Virginia. And you can check them out on the Facebook page at United Coal Company. Well, there's going to be a pitching change for Independence. So it'll be the pitcher that was in the ball game. Pierce is out, and coming from first base to pitch will be Peyton Bream, and Pierce will go to first. So they'll just flip-flop positions, and we start here in the top of the 5th inning. For Shady to lead things off will be Peyton Rabin, and she's been the big offensive star. A nice defensive play, too. She had a RBI double in the first and a 2-run shot in the third. And she takes a big cut and misses that one. She also has thrown out a runner. She plays catcher for Shady. So, like I said, she's had an all-around game at the dish and in the field. It counts 1 ball and 1 strike to Rabin. And here comes the 1-1. Oh, and that might have caught her right in the face. Good thing she's got the mask on. That foul ball looks like she's going to be okay. As the umpire checked out as we watched the replay. And you can see the foul ball, came up and got her. But like I said, good thing she's got that face mask on. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count to Peyton Rabin, leading things off here in the top of the 5th. And the count will even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2. And the count goes full at 3-2. So Bream ready, and the payoff pitch swung on and fouled back. That's one thing both teams know. If you got 2 strikes, you got to be protecting the plate. Most of the strikeouts we see in softball are from swinging, are generally not from takes. If it's anywhere close, you got to be up there hacking. And we will redo the payoff pitch, and here it comes. And that'll be ball 4. So for the 3rd time, Peyton Rabin's on. Like I said, she doubled in a run back in the first, hit a 2-run shot back in the third, and she will draw a leadoff walk here in the 5th inning. And Jenna Joyce will be the hitter, 0 for 2, struck out in the first and flied out in the third. And the pitch is way out in front as she fouls that one out of play, down the left field line. Joyce entered the game batting .354 with 6 home runs and 16 runs driven in. But as I mentioned, that average will dip just a little bit here today because she's 0 for 2. But the main number is Shady's in front at this point, 5-2, as the Tigers bat here in the top of the 5th inning. So we've got Peyton Bream on the mound right now for Independence in relief. In relief of Kinsey Pierce. And here comes the 0-1, squares to bunt, lays down a beautiful bunt. Only play, I think it's going to be the first. That's the throw, and they won't get her. That'll be another error. That's the 3rd error of the ball game. The 3rd error of the ball game for Independence, and the ball was not. They didn't say that the ball. The umpire didn't say that that it was a held ball or that the play had stopped. And Peyton Raven just kept running. She comes all the way around and scores. And now Independence kind of maybe coming apart here, and they're going to meet here at on pitcher's mound is good heads-up base run by Peyton Raven. She just kept coming in as Joyce reaches on an error. The 3rd error of the ball game on Independence, and that will take the lead now out to 6-2. As the umpires are going to talk about it, but that's a smart heads-up play by Raven as she just kept going. I didn't see an umpire or anybody call time or anybody say that the ball wasn't in play. But for now, it's going to be a run for Shady. And that's the way it's going to stand. So Peyton Raven scores her 2nd run, just a heads-up play. And the 3rd error of the ball game on Independence. And it takes Shady to a 4-run lead now at 6-2 here in the 5th inning. With Joyce the runner on at first, and now it'll be Sturgill will now be the hitter. Bella Sturgill will now bat. She drew a walk back in the first, and she popped out back in the third. Not sure what the holdup is now. As the home plate umpire sweeps off the plate, and now whatever the holdup is, we're back to play ball. As Bella Sturgill will now be the hitter. Bream in relief of Pierce on the mound. And now we're ready. Sturgill now digs in from the right-hand side of the plate. And the pitch. Ball 1. So 1-0 the count to Bella Sturgill. And comes the 1-0 offering. She squares the bunt. Takes outside, 2-0. Bream ready. Sturgill backs out now into the box. And here comes the 2-0 pitch. She squares the bunt, and she takes ball 3. I beg your pardon, the scoreboard shows 2-1. I thought one of those pitches was a ball. I could be wrong. So I think it is 3-0. As the heavy hitter Nick Eskins helping me out here. And there's ball 4, so I was right all along. Sometimes I go by what I have rather than what the scoreboard has. But now got runners at first and second, a run in, nobody out. That's the 2nd walk of the inning. And Blankenship will now be the hitter. So, there's no defense against a walk. There's been 2 walks in an era. In this inning for Independence, it's allowed another run to score for Shady. And it'll be Blankenship. And she lays down a perfect bunt, and I don't know if they're going to get her. They do, just in time. But it was a nice bunt, nice sacrifice to move both runners over. Because Blankenship was 2 for 2, a couple of hits and scored a run, and she sacrificed with the sacrifice bunt, and that puts 2 runners in scoring position, and Kales will now be the hitter. Kales reached on a fielder's choice in the second, struck out in the fourth. But the last time, if you remember when Kales was up, if you've been with us, she really made then pitcher Pierce really battle as that pitch bounces in. That's a good job by Parks, the Independence catcher, to keep that ball in front of her. So Kales came in, batting .277, swings and fouls this one. The count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Like I said, it looks like it's starting to rain just a little bit again. A little bit cooler and rain here tonight than what we had on Tuesday night when Independence beat Beckley 8-0. So it counts 1 ball, 1 strike to Kales, and here comes the 1-1 offering. And that's way out in front, swing and a miss. The count goes to 1-2. And the 1-2 is swung on and missed, strike 3. So for the second time in the ball game, Kales is a strikeout victim, and that will be the second out of the inning. And that'll get Pizzino to the dish. She struck out in the second, reached on an error, and scored in the fourth. So she's 0 for 2. But she's not looking at that. She got on and scored, and that's all she cares about. She's trying to help her team win. There's ball 1. You got Joyce at third and Sturgill at second for Shady. They've got 1 run already in as they've scored at least a run in the last 3 innings. 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 here in the fifth. This ball swung on. It's hit to the shortstop. The play across the diamond is recorded for the out. That's a nice play by Bella Lilly. Shady gets a run. They leave a couple middle of the fifth inning as Shady's added another run to their lead. It's a 6-2 Shady lead. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
And we welcome you back to Independence High School. I'm Maris Lowry, the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, producing and directing. Jackie Moon on camera as Independence comes to bat here in the home half of the fifth inning. They're going to need some base runners. They have fallen behind 6-2. Shady with a run in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 here in the top of the fifth inning. Independence's 2 runs came, both of those 2 runs came in the bottom of the third inning. So right now, Shady's got 5 runs on 6 hits. Independence, 2 runs, 5 hits, and have committed 3 errors. As we're ready to go here, and it'll be Simpson to lead things off. And Simpson right here is the number 7 hitter in the lineup. It'll be 7, 8, 9 due up for Independence as that ball was fouled back 0-1. Simpson's 0 for 1 in the ball game, flied out to left field, or only other time at the dish back in the second inning. So the 0-1 to Simpson, and the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Lane on the mound for Shady. She's been really good. Just that 1 inning where she'd given up a couple runs. She struck out 4 already. The 1-1 pitch swung on. This ball is fouled back out of play. So 1-2 the count to Emma Simpson, the third baseman for Independence. Lane ready for Shady, the 1-2. Swung on way out in front of that one as that's pulled foul down the left field line. And the 1-2. Swung on and fouled back out of play right over our head. As I look out, still see some umbrellas that start to pop up. And guess it's raining just enough to be aggravating. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Emma Simpson. Leading things off here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Lane is shaking off Raven a couple of times. And Raven's like throwing her hands up like, I guess throw whatever you want. And Lane ready for the 1-2. And it bounced to the plate. And the count evens to 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll be back here on Monday as we'll have another county rivalry game. It'll be Independence against Liberty. And then Tuesday, it'll be Logan against Independence. By the way, Tuesday's game will be a 6 o'clock start. Monday's game, like last Tuesday and like tonight, 5:30 starts. We'll start at 5:30 on Monday, 6 o'clock on Tuesday. And there's called strike 3. That's the 5th strikeout for Lane in the game, and that's the 4th straight batter for Independence that's out on strikes. Last inning, Lane struck out the side, and first batter here in the 5th, Simpson, is out on strikes. So Cook will be the hitter, and she takes a big cut and swings and misses. And in the hole at 0-1. So like I said, after Lane had given up, she was steady the first 2 innings, gave up a couple runs in the third. She's been really solid. This ball was hit right to the second baseman, and that's going to be an error. That ball should have been caught. That ball, Hamilton could not bring it in. And that's what, if you've got the lead, at any time you don't want to give up base runners, especially on a play you feel that you should make. So Cook will reach on an error. That'll be the first error on Shady the ball game. And that'll get Stewart to the dish. She was a strikeout victim her only other time at the plate back in the 3rd inning. So Stewart's the number 9 hitter in the lineup. And that's what I say, Independence's front 3 can do a lot of damage. And, you know, when you pitch to them, you don't want anybody on base if you can help it. As there's a called strike to Stewart. So Cook the runner at first. She reaches on an error with 1 out. And the 0-1. And the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Shady trying to get to 500. They're 8-9 on the season. Independence 16-6. And that's a big swing and miss for Stewart. 1-2 the count. Of course, Independence is 16-6. They won 12 of their first 13. So they were 12-1 at one point. Since then, they've gone 4-6 as the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. They realized their schedule got a little more difficult as they got in to the middle to the latter part of their schedule. So comes the 2-2 to Stewart, and that's swung on and missed strike 3. That's the 6th strikeout for Lane. And there's 2 out in the inning. And now we'll go back to the top of the order with Bradbury. She struck out in the first, got a hit and scored in the third. She's 1 for 2. She's really been a table setter. Excellent player. Going to play at the next level next year. And this one's hit to center field. The center fielder, actually left field, looked like the center was over. They won't get it. And rounding third, nope, they'll hit for home, and yes, they'll score the run. So that error does come back to haunt Shady as Bradbury able to get her 2nd hit of the ball game. That's a double and an RBI. And Independence will play to run And they get a little closer as they trim Shady's lead to 6-3. That'll be the 6th hit of the ball game for Independence, and that'll be Bradbury's 2nd hit, as Parks will now be the hitter. Parks has got a couple of hits. She had a double back in the 2nd and a single back in the 3rd. So that's to say, on any level, whether it's softball, baseball, you can't give teams more than 3 outs because there's just too many good offensive players. And like Independence, if you're Shady, you don't want to open the door. Even though there is 2 outs, they still have potential to have a big inning because of the kind of bats that, that this Independence team possesses. So Parks will be the hitter. She's 2 for 2. And she steps to the dish. And the pitch. Ball 1. They throw down to 2nd, but Bradbury back easy. And I think if you're Shady here, I think you really wouldn't want to, with 2 outs especially, and you've got a 6-3 lead, I don't think you'd really want to worry about the base runner. Just want to concentrate maybe trying to get the batter out. We'll see as this pitch is swung on and it's popped up. And it's carrying out into shallow left field and going back and making a nice play that time is Jenna Joyce, and that will end the inning. But Independence gets a run. They leave one at the end of 5. It's Shady 6, Independence 3. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Well, it's been a good one here at Coal City, here at Larry T. Poe Field. I'm Maris Lowry, the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, producing and directing. Jackie Moon on camera. 6-3 is the Shady lead. Shady led 1-0 with a run in the first. Then they got 2 in the third. Independence tacked 2 runs in the bottom of the third. It was 3-2 then. Shady's each added a run, 2 runs in the fourth and 1 in the fifth. There were 6 runs, and then Independence added a run in the bottom of the 5th inning. So far, through 5 innings, the line score unofficially is 6 runs on 6 hits for Shady and 1 error, and 3 runs and 6 hits and 3 errors for Independence. So we're going here to the top of the 6th inning. And here in the 6th inning, it'll be the number 9 hitter. It'll be Hamilton, the 9 hitter, then back to the top of the order with Lane and Quessenberry here in the 6th inning. 6-3 is the lead for Shady. On the mound is Peyton Bream in relief of Kenzie Pierce. So Hamilton, she popped out to the first baseman in the 2nd and had a hit back in the 4th. So she's 1 for 2. And this one, she swings down the left field line. That will stay down. That's fair. That'll get all the way into the corner, and that's the 2nd hit out of the 9-hole for Hamilton as she leads off the Shady 6th inning with a leadoff double. She got all of that and a nice piece of hitting. That's the 7th hit of the ball game for Shady. And we're back to the top of the order with Lane trying to help her own cause as she's 0 for 3, the Shady Spring leadoff hitter and pitcher. She squared to bunt. It'll be ball 1. You got to think, though, if you're Independence here, of course, we play 7-inning games, and anything's possible, but you just don't think you can really afford to give up any more runs. I mean, Independence has the ability to rally, but obviously you're down 3, you get late in the game. So this is a very big inning after Shady leads it off with a double. And the count goes to 2-0 on Lane, Reagan Lane. She's 0 for 3, so we'll see if she's due. Bream set, ready, and the 2-0 delivery. She squares the bunt, and great catch by the Parks, the Independence catcher. She laid out, as that is a foul out to the catcher, and that's the first out of the inning. But that was a nice play, nice defensive play by Ava Parks, able to lay out and make that play. So Questenberry will now be the hitter. Got a double and scored in the first, drew a walk and scored in the third, and grounded out in the fourth. So she's 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored. And takes a called strike, 0-1. Throw to third, safe. Good heads-up play as Hamilton able to slide up under the tag. And let's see if we got the replay of this, because this was a bang-bang play. Yep. And, of course, I couldn't tell originally, but the third baseman wasn't able to hang on to the ball. Simpson did not hang on to the ball, but a good job that time by Hamilton to slide up under the tag anyway. Now you're thinking maybe going to bring in the infield a little bit, maybe want to cut that run off at the plate. Pitch to Questenberry. Count evens at a ball and a strike. And Ravens on deck. And the 1-1 to Questenberry. That gets past the catcher, and the run comes in. The throw, bang, bang play, safe. The umpire calls her safe. That was a nice play all the way around. Really, Hamilton, what a great inning that she's had as we ready to watch the replay. She beats the throw. She leads off the inning with the double. She was able to get to third. The ball gets past the catcher. We have a bang, bang play at the plate, and she is called safe. As here's the replay. Boy, this was really bang, bang. And they call her safe. And a run able to cross the dish for Shady, and they extend their lead to 7-3. So with 1 out and a run in now, and nobody on, counts 1-1 to Questenberry. This ball swung on. It's hit the center field. Center fielder back, and it's over her head. The center fielder that time, Emma Lilly, playing a little too close, and that will be a double by Questenberry. That's her second hit of the ball game, and her second double of the ball game, and that will be the 8th hit for Shady. And now Peyton Rabin comes to the dish. They haven't been able to get her out. She had a double in the first, a 2-run homer in the third, and drew a walk and scored. She scored a couple of runs. And right now, Independence will have a meeting of the minds at pitcher's mound as Coach Ken Atkins will come out and talk to his troops. It's a 7-3 lead for Shady. So Shady able to have 7 runs on 8 hits. And 3 Independence errors have helped put 7 runs up on the board for Shady. And let's see, I think may have a pitching change. Waiting to see what they're going to do, or maybe they just come out to assist Independence's pitcher, Peyton Bream. But Shady has scored every inning except for the second inning. They got 1 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, one in the fifth, and now one has crossed the dish here in the sixth inning, and they've taken a 7-3 lead. There's one out, and Peyton Rabin will now be the hitter with Questenberry down at second. Rabin hit her third home run back in the third inning. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled back 0-1. So here comes the 0-1 to Rabin. And that'll miss to even the count at 1-1. And the 1-1 offering. Swung on. This ball is skied to right center field. They won't get that one. That ball go all the way to the wall. And it'll be a stand-up double and an RBI. What a big game for Peyton Rabin, as that is her third hit of the game. And she's knocked in yet another run. And they have not found a way to get her out. And that will be the ninth hit of the ball game for Shady. So Shady has plated. They did not score a run, but they held the runner at third. Questenberry held at third. Thought she would score on that easy. This ball is hit to right field. The right fielder has a play on it. It's caught by Ritchie. The player's tag, play at the plate, not in time, and Shady's got another run. That's a sacrifice fly. And that will plate another run as Joyce able to get the RBI. And Questenberry able to score. And Peyton go to third. So that's 3 hits in the inning. And 2 runs have crossed the plate. And they've extended the lead 8-3 here in the sixth inning. And the batter is hit by a pitch. I know it was a new batter into the ball game. Let's see who we got in there. I beg your pardon, that was Sturgill that got hit, not a new batter in the game. Sturgill was hit by a pitch. And now Blankenship, the hitter, takes a called strike. Blankenship's got a couple of hits, scored a run, got a hit back in the second, got a hit and scored in the fourth, and had a sacrifice back in the fifth. She's 2 for 2. Count goes to 1-1. But Shady has scored in every inning but the second. Run in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, and 2 more here in the sixth. And they lead in the ball game 8-3. And with 2 outs, they got runners at the corners. This ball was hit, and that's going to get through and a base hit into left field, and that'll drive in another run. And the runner's out at second, but the run will score at the plate. And now at the middle of the sixth inning, it's Shady 9, Independence 3, as we'll be right back here on Video Productions. going to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Shady's in front of Independence by the score of 9-3, as Shady's been able to plate 9 runs and 9 runs on 10 hits. They were helped out by 3 Independence errors. As we go here to the home half of the 6th inning and for Independence, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 due up. Emma Lilly, Bella Lilly, and Peyton Bream. And if you're Independence, you got to get base runners, and you got to start trying to put some hits together. But Peyton Lane, Reagan Lane has been outstanding. And there's a strike there on Emma Lilly to start things off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 6 strikeouts for Reagan Lane here in the game. And the pitch. That ball was popped up, foul, out of play. So it counts 0-2. We're in the bottom half here of the 6th inning. And a 9-3 lead for Shady. This ball swung on. It's hit the center field. Center fielder stumbles, not going to be able to get it. It's up over her head. It'll hit the wall, and Lilly will have a double. Rounding third. Maybe it's a home run. I believe it is. I couldn't tell that the ball got out of the park. It looked like the center fielder had stumbled, and I couldn't tell that ball had got over the fence. So that is a leadoff home run by Lilly as we watch the replay. She hit it good. You can see the center fielder out there stumbling, and the ball just clears the fence. So the park won't hold it. And that's a leadoff home run for Lilly and adds a run for Independence. So each team has had a home run. Each team's had a player that have left the yard. And Emma Lilly leads off the 6th with a home run. So that makes things 9-4. As now the batter is Bella Lilly. Bella Lilly 0 for 2, grounded out and back in the 1st and struck out in the 4th. Counts 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the 1-1. Count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2. Swung on. This ball's hit down the left field line, giving chase the left fielder, but that's going to be out of play. Good hustle by Questenberry, but not able to get it. She runs out of room as the ball is foul. And the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 1-2 is the count. To Bella Lilly. And here comes the 1-2. Swung on. This is fouled back. One and 2 to Bella Lilly. And the 1-2. Count evens to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Emma Lilly led off this inning with a home run. Now you got Bella Lilly here batting with a run in. Nobody on, nobody out. Shady will have a meeting there at the mound. I'll probably have to go out and break it up maybe here in a minute. Now the umpire will make the stroll out to the pitcher's mound and break up the meeting. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bella Lilly. She's 0 for 2. Peyton Bream waits to hit next. Lane is ready. Gets the sign from Rabin. And the 2-2 offering. And the count will go full at 3-2. And here comes the payoff pitch. And that'll be ball 4. So Independence, as we said when the inning started, they need base runners, they need hits. They led off the inning with a solo home run by Emma Lilly, and now Bella Lilly draws a base on ball, and it'll be Bream will be the hitter. She's 0 for 2, a strikeout victim in the second and a strikeout victim in the fourth. So Bream digs in from the left-hand side of the plate, and here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back, 0-1. And the 0-1. Count will even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Monday night we'll be back here as Independence will take on Liberty, and that will be a 5:30 game. Tuesday night we'll be back here as Independence will take on Logan, and that game will start at 6 o'clock. Here's the 1-1 to Bream. Swung on, foul. The count goes to 1-2. So 1-2 the count. Lane ready. And that's swung on a missed strike 3. That's the third time in the ball game that Bream has struck out. So that's the first out of the Independent 6th inning. And Stanley will now be the hitter. Stanley's 1 for 2. Got a double back in the second. Struck out in the fourth. And that is the 7th strikeout for Lane for Shady. And there's ball 1 to Stanley. Game approaching right about 2 hours here in 7 minutes. At 7:40, the game will be 2 hours old as we're here in the home half of the 6th inning of a scheduled 7-inning game, in which Shady, as you can see there on the screen, is in front 9-4. So the count's 2-0. And the 2-0 to Savannah Stanley. Swung on and missed. The count goes to 2-1. Lane is ready. And the 2-1 offering. 3-1. And the 3-1 delivery. Swung on, this ball was hit to right field. The right fielder, Shady, up under it and squeezes it for the out. That's a nice play out there by the right fielder, Richie, able to make the play for the second out of the inning. So 2 out, a run in, a run on. A run in and a runner on, I should say. And Simpson will now be the hitter. Simpson is 0 for 2, flied out to left in the second, struck out back in the 5th. Count goes to 0-1. It's called strike. Lane is ready and delivers. Swung on and missed, 0-2. Lane trying to record her 8th strikeout. She's a pitch away from doing that. And the 0-2 swung on. That ball is hit foul down the left field line. So the count will hold at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. With a run in, 2 out, and a runner on first. here in the home half of the sixth inning. And Shady in front 9-4. Simpson backed out of the box. Now she'll dig back in. Lane is ready. And here's the pitch. And that count will even at 2-2. They'll throw down to first. Of course, you got to think Independence down this late in the game as they're down to their final 4 outs. And they're down by 5 runs, 9-4. You wouldn't think they would take a chance of trying to steal a base. You don't want to take the bat out of any player's hands. You want to try to be able to manufacture some runs. And the count's gone full. So Cook would be up next if Simpson can keep it alive. Yes, 3-2 the count. And the payoff pitch. I beg your pardon. I guess now it's 3-2. She laid off of that. And now the count has gone full. So 3-2 the count to Emma Simpson. Lane is ready, and here comes the payoff. And did she go around? She did not, and that'll be ball 4 as they appealed down to first base. So that's the second walk of the inning, and that's how Independence has got their base runners, but that's what they need, especially when you're behind. So they got 2 on with 2 out, and a run already in this inning. And we'll be at the number 8 hitter in the lineup, as Cook will now be the batter. They haven't been able to get Cook out. Got a hit and scored in the 3rd, reached on an error, and scored in the 5th. So the hitter Cook has scored 2 of the team's 4 runs. So Cook is the number 8 hitter in the Independence lineup. And Lane is ready, and the pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-1. Next pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. Lane is ready, and the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That was good morning, good afternoon, and good night. But Independence does get a leadoff home run by Emma Lilly. We played 6 complete innings, and at the end of 6, it is Shady 9 and Independence 4. We'll be back with the 7th inning coming up next here on Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
At Access Health, we treat your children the way we want our children to be treated, with care, compassion, and expertise.
We focus on treating the person, not just the symptom. Your health and well-being are our priority.
And when you face uncertainties, we are there with advanced technology and compassionate care.
And we welcome you back to Independence High School. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Indoor Air. Indoor Air is your train dealer. Nothing can stop a train, as you can call Jeff Varney and his crew at Indoor Air at 304-890-2212. Also, the game brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Company. They offer no premium and a low-deductible health insurance with dental and vision coverage. You can apply for a job through their Facebook page at United Coal Company. All right, we're going to the 7th inning, and it'll be the 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters up. Kales, Pizzino, and Hamilton as Kales takes a called strike 0-1. So it's 9 runs, 10 hits, an error for Shady, 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for Independence, and the 0-1. Swung on, and this ball is popped up, playable for the catcher, and the catcher is able to get up under it, parks, and squeeze it for the first out of the 7th inning. So Kales is retired for the 3rd time. And that will now bring up Pizzino. Pizzino struck out in the 2nd, reached on an error and scored in the 4th, and grounded out in the 5th inning. And this ball is hit right back up the middle and through for a hit into center field. That's the 11th hit of the ball game. And Pizzino's on for the 2nd time. A 1-out single. And Hamilton will now be the hitter. Hamilton is 2 for 3. Got a couple of hits, got a single and a double, and scored a run. And she was really big on the bases last inning. Shady has scored in every inning but the 2nd inning, as they lead in the ball game 9-4 here in the 7th. And Bream on the mound for Independence in relief of Pierce. With the win, Shady can be right at 500. They're 8-9, trying to get to 9-9. Independence is 16-6 entering the game. But if you're Independence, you can't really afford to give up any more runs. You got to hold Shady where they're at. And there's a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. And here comes the 1-2. Swung on and missed. I beg your pardon. Now it's 1-2. I thought I must have missed a pitch in there somewhere. Just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Counts 2-2. I got to do color. I got to do play-by-play. I got to do color there for a minute. I was keeping the score on the scoreboard. The balls, the strikes, the outs, the hits. I got a lot going on here. But I got my man, the heavy hitter, Nick Eskins. He's helping me out. He's keeping me in line. As here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Hamilton is the 2nd out of the inning. And we'll go back to the top of the order with Lane. Lane is 0 for 4. She entered the ball game hitting at .340, and she's going to play college at Concord next season. And she gets hit with a pitch. And she'll take her base, so there'll be 2 on as Lane gets hit. And that'll put Pizzino down at 2nd. And Quesenberry will be the hitter. She scored 3 runs. She scored a third of their runs. She got a double and scored in the 1st. She drew a walk and scored off the Rabin home run and got a double and scored back in the 6th. And really, between Quesenberry and Rabin, they've done the damage. They've scored 6 of the team's 9 runs. And they've got 5 of the team's 11 hits between Quesenberry and Rabin, as the count is 0-1 to Quesenberry. So the 2 and 3 spot of the Shady lineup has done damage here in this game this evening. That is just a tad over 2 hours old. This ball is hit down the right field line. That's fair. That's into the corner. We got a run comes to the plate. And another run comes to the plate as they try to throw behind Quesenberry, and she delivers again. 2-run double. And Shady's has extended the lead to 11-4, as that is the 3rd hit of the ball game for Quesenberry. 12th hit for Shady, as Rabin will come to the plate. And she's had quite a game as well. She's got 3 hits and a walk. She scored 3 times, a double, a 2-run home run, a base on ball, and another double. A couple doubles, a home run, and scored 3 times. That is what you call doing work. This ball is popped up. Will it stay in play? It will not. Of course, if you're Independence, if Rabin knocks it over the fence, you'd rather see it hit it over that fence than over the fence in left field like she did earlier in the ball game. But Shady has put up 11 runs on 12 hits. Independence has committed 3 errors. But Questenberry, the 2-hitter, and Rabin, the 3-hitter, have really done damage. Counts 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out here in the top of the 7th. If you're looking ahead for Independence in the bottom of the 7th, they'll have the number 9 hitter up. It'll be 9, 1, and 2 that will be due up. Stewart, Bradbury, and Parks in the 7th inning as Rabin takes a big cut and misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bream on the mound, ready. And the pitch. And the 2-2. Swung on. This ball is skied out into right field. The second baseman actually is backing up into shallow right field and will squeeze it for the 3rd out. But Shady plates 2 more runs in the 7th as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Last chance for Independence. It's an 11-4 Shady lead. We'll be right back here on Video Productions. Well, we're going to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Shady 3 outs away from getting this victory and getting to 500. Independence will have the number 9 hitter up, and then we'll go to the top of the order, 1 and 2. So right now it is 11 runs on 12 hits for Shady as they lead in the ball game 11-4. 11, 12, and 1 for Shady, 4, 7, and 3 for Independence as we go here to the bottom of the 7th. And it'll be Stewart, the number 9 hitter, Bradbury, the 1 hitter, and Parks, the 2 hitter. First 3 batters that will face Reagan Lane. Lane has got 7 strikeouts, got her total to 57 strikeouts on the year. And that's in 56 innings of pitching. So in 56 innings of pitching this season, Lane has, I said 68. Actually, she's got 75 strikeouts, I beg your pardon. And the first pitch is swung on and missed, 0-1. Count evens a 1 ball, 1 strike. Looks like we got a new batter into the ball game. That's Harris into the game. And she takes a big cut and swings and misses. 1 and 2 the count. So it's 56 innings pitched with, and there's strike 3. So that's the 8th strikeout with 76 Ks. And now 56 1/3 innings pitched. And now we'll go back to the top of the order, and Bradbury will now be the hitter. Bradbury struck out in the first, singled and scored in the third, and doubled in the fifth, 2 for 3. And the count's 0-1. Getting a little cooler as we've progressed here into the evening. And the pitch. count goes to 0-2. So the 0-2 to Bradbury on its way. And that'll miss. Ball one. 1-2 the count. Lane ready. And the 1-2 offering. Count evens to 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the 2-2. Swung on. This ball is out of play. Into the parking lot. I see that nice red GMC. As long as it don't hit that, I'm good. So 2-2 the count on Bradbury. Parks waits to hit next. Independence down to their final 2 outs. And the 2-2. And the count's gone full. So 3-2 the count to Cassidy Bradbury. As Lane is ready to deal the payoff pitch. And that ball swung on, and they call that a foul ball. As that ball was hit down to Sturgill. She was hoping that was going to be fair. That would have been an easy play unassisted. But not the case, as it was a foul ball. So the count will hold at a full 3-2. And here comes the payoff pitch. That swung on. That ball was hit down the left side, and it'll be out of play. Good hustle there by giving chase for it. So Bradbury battling, protecting the plate. 3-2 the count. Here in the bottom half of the 7th. And a 7-run lead for Shady. And the payoff. Swung on. That ball slapped for a base hit into left field. Bradbury will make the big turn. She'll be able to get second. She's going for 3. The throw, and she's got a triple. A triple for Bradbury. Her 3rd hit of the ball game. And a 1-out triple. And that'll bring Parks to the dish. She's got a couple of hits. She's 2 for 3. Doubled in the 1st, singled in the 3rd. So 1-out triple by Cassidy Bradbury, and Ava Parks will be the hitter. And with that hit, that was the 8th hit of the ball game for Independence. And here's the pitch to Parks, swung on. This ball is hit to center field, and no question, Shady Esposito will squeeze it. They'll definitely give up the run. They'll trade a run for the out any time, as that's a sacrifice fly, and Independence will get its 5th run to make the score 11-5. As Bradbury able to cross the plate, but Independence is down to its final out, as Emma Lilly will now be the hitter. So on the sacrifice fly, that's an RBI for Parks, as Emma Lilly will be the batter. And she homered last inning in the 6th inning. She's 1 for 3. And the pitch. Ball 1. So right now it's 11 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for Shady, 4 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors for Independence. This Independence is down to its final out. And the 1-0. It's 2-0. If Emma Lilly can keep it alive, Bella Lilly would hit next. So Lane trying to finish it off. She's gone the distance. She has struck out 8 here this evening. And now it's 3-0. In fact, that's the only 3-0 count that she's gone to, has Reagan Lane here. And always that last out's always the toughest one to get. And here comes the 3-0 pitch. And not taking, swinging on 3-0, and fouling it out of play is Lily. Of course, I realize things have changed years ago. No matter what the score was, back in the day, you could never swing. Coaches, managers would never let you swing at a 3-0 pitch. This ball swung on, hit down the right field line. It is a fair ball. And Lily rounds second, and that's the second triple, as that's another triple in this inning as the ball comes back in. So a triple for Emma Lilly. Bradbury had a triple and scored, and now Lilly with the triple. And that is the 9th hit of the ball game for Independence, and that will bring up Bella Lilly. Lilly grounded out back in the first, struck out in the fourth, and drew a walk back in the sixth. She's 0 for 2. Like I said, that last out is always the toughest one to get. But Independence has hit 2 triples here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So this is the cleanup hitter, is Bella Lilly. And the pitch. Swung on. That ball is hit for a base hit into left field. Independence showing a lot of life, as they've scored a couple runs in this inning. That's also the 3rd hit in the inning. And the 12th hit of the ball game. So that makes it 11-6. And now Bream will be the hitter. So you got to think maybe Peyton Bream is due. She's 0 for 3. She struck out all 3 times. Struck out in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th, and struck out in the 6th. So an 11-6 lead, with 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the pitch. Ball 1. Ball swung, a comebacker. This should do it. There's the throw to first, and that's the ball game. Shady has come across the county, and they have defeated Independence here this evening. Your final score, Shady 11, Independence 6. We'll take a break, have a quick wrap-up, and we'll do it when we come back here on Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
And we welcome you back to Independence High School final score as the Shady Spring Tigers defeat Independence 11-6. Unofficial line score, 11 runs, 12 hits, and an error for Shady. 6 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors for Independence. Your line score is brought to you in part by Indoor Air. Indoor Air, you're a train dealer. Nothing can stop a train. You can dial up Jeff Varney and his staff at 304-890-2212. Also brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Company. They offer no premium but low deductible health insurance with dental and vision coverage. They also offer company-paid life insurance, prescription drug coverage, and a company-matching 401k plan. You can check them out on the Facebook page at United Coal Company. So final score, Shady wins it 11-6. Shady with the win, they go to 9-9, and Independence with the loss, they go to 16-7. But the hitting stars for Shady was Alexa Quessenberry and Peyton Rabin. Quessenberry had a double, then drew a walk, then had another double and another double. So she ended up with 3 doubles, and she scored 3 times and drew a walk. For Rabin, she had a double, a 2-run home run, a walk, and a double. She was 3 for 4, so she ended up with 3 hits as well, and she scored 3 times as well. So between them, 1, 2, 3, 4, they scored 6 of the 11 runs between Quessenberry and Rabin. The winning pitcher is Lane. She recorded 8 strikeouts. Reagan Lane, the winning pitcher for Shady. The losing pitcher for Independence is Pierce, even though Peyton Bream came in relief. Once again, final score, Shady wins at 11-6, 11-12-1 for Shady, 6-10-3 for Independence. For our entire staff here, we appreciate the heavy hitter, Mr. Nick Eskins, producing and directing, Jackie Moon on camera. I'm Maris Lowry saying good evening from Independence. Once again, the final score, 11-6, Shady wins it. Good night here from Video Productions.